Hello, welcome to the Wand and Crown. I'm Haley, that's Keeley. This episode, we are going to talk about Adventures by Disney. So, Adventures by Disney is kind of exactly what it says it is.
Adventures by Disney, yes.
Yeah. So, it is trips that are typically outside of the Disney parks that have a bit of the Disney magic. They're essentially like tours and excursions that are supposed to, in the words of Adventures by Disney or ABD, because Adventures by Disney is just too much to say. It's a mouthful. They try to immerse the travelers in the culture and the traditions of their destinations. Really, this is a great option for people who love Disney but want to try going other places. I don't know why you would want to do that because Disney is wonderful. No, I'm kidding.
I was like, you're like the main one like likes this stuff. Hello. I do. I mean, I do too, but like you're the let's go to Europe and
let's go to Europe. Let's take a river cruise.
Yeah. This is your shtick. Don't diss it.
No, really, this is a wonderful option for people who want to try stepping out into, out of their theme park comfort zone with a company that they know and trust.
And I feel like the thing about it too is like if you feel overwhelmed with planning, obviously a good travel agent will help you get this plan, but this is also good because they have like local tour guides that help, and they do all the local stuff. They plan it for you, and like you said, you get to pick your excursions. It's all curated. So if you're not someone who wants to spend hours researching or ask your travel agent and you kind of like make decisions, like this is a good option to kind of have like I don't want to say like a controlled environment, but like
I mean it is really, it's a curated tour. Disney takes care of booking all the excursions for you. Most of your meals are included, if not all of them. You have typically, for the most part, you'll have two what they call adventure guides.
That's right.
Which are Disney employees who will be on your tour with you. If you take one of the river cruises or the small ship excursions, there'll be more, but that's just because it's a larger group of people and they want to keep the not percentages. What is the word I'm looking for?
Ratio.
I have notes.
Ratio.
Yes.
Ratio. Okay. I was like, same thing.
They want to keep the ratio similar so that, it's like 2 Adventures by Disney guides per so many guests. But they do have local guides that hop on and off at different spots during your trip, which is really great for the overseas ones, because then you've got local guides who have grown up in these places showing you things.
And they're fluent in the language too, which is very
fluent in language. Yeah.
It's their first language. So
not their second language, not their third.
If you don't want to learn 6 languages to go on a river cruise, here you go.
Yeah, this is perfect. Yeah. They also, I mean, it is Disney, so a lot of these trips are tailored with families in mind. So they do have options for what they call junior adventurers or kids.
The Wilderness Explorers Club. Like that's just what that reminds me of from Up. That's what that reminds me of. It's so cute.
So they'll have different options for kids to, different, not excursions, things for kids to do while the adults do other things. And you can feel comfortable going off and doing these other things because you know that at least one of the adventure guides is going to be there with the kids, keeping watch over them, keeping them safe.
Mm-hmm.
There are, I think, there's 4 different types of excursion or adventures, trip types. There are land adventures, expedition cruises, I think. Yep. Expedition cruises, river cruises, private adventures, and escapes. So I've counted, but I know there were different options.
We're so cool and have our notes in front of us, but we like to test ourselves and try to remember everything.
I don't like scrolling and scrolling and scrolling.
Well, don't type 2 pages of notes.
I like this stuff. This is fun.
I know this is your niche. This is your thing. I know you're literally, your name is Adventures by Hayley. I know.
Yes. So if we break everything down, the different trip types, land adventures, again, Disney is not super for a creative company. They're not super inventive with their names for these trip types. Land adventures are adventures on land.
What else would you call it though?
I don't know. I'm just like, they are what they sound like they are.
Yeah.
But
it makes it easy for people.
Exactly. Yeah. So if you just want to stay on land, you're good to go. And they offer them on all 7 continents, which is awesome.
Because Antarctica is
continent.
There's a lot to get there.
Yeah, I don't really want to do the Drake Passage, but
every time I see it, I'm like, I'm someone that gets motion sickness too, and I'm like, I could do that. I don't know why I think I could do it.
I do the same thing.
Yeah, and I'm like, I know realistically I couldn't do it, but like, and I don't know anybody that doesn't get the Drake shake on at least one. I don't know anybody that doesn't get it. So
I feel like we could do it. It just might not be super enjoyable while we're doing it.
But then by the time you get to Antarctica too, you feel like crap because you have seasickness and they're only there for 2 days, I think, or like a day and a half. You're not there very long. So
no, because they don't want to mess with the
contamination and the germs and the biosphere ecosystem. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But
yeah.
That's a good thing with this is they help take care of all that stuff too. So you don't have to worry about like, what are their precautions? They're there to tell you these are the precautions and this is what you kind of can't do.
Yeah. So. And they offer all different trip lengths. I mean, the land adventures are like 5 days or more. And they can, this is like the great thing about Disney, like they get you into all these fun little spots. So like you can do a cooking class in Vietnam. You can do like a sushi making class in Japan. You can see samurai. If they've got some trips out in the Western US, which is the other way if you're watching the screen. Out in the Western US, you can do you can go to the Arches National Park. You can go see the Grand Canyon, which is like, let me tell you, if you have not seen the Grand Canyon, you need to.
I tried to, and then it was snowing.
Okay, well.
I went to Arizona this time a few years ago to visit family. It rained the entire time, and then it started snowing. So we didn't go to the Grand Canyon because guess who brought desert clothes to the desert and didn't have snow gear to drive 3 hours to the Grand Canyon when it was 32 degrees outside. Yeah. So
I would like to point out that when I visited the Grand Canyon, goodness, like a decade ago, it was in like August.
Oh, so you had the opposite experience than I did.
No,
it
was still frigidly cold up at the top. So keep that in mind. Like down at the bottom where the river is still.
Yeah.
It's going to be warmer. But that's a nice elevation right up there at the top. It's still chilly.
True.
I had a sweatshirt on.
But this is why you do Adventures by Disney, because they will tell you this stuff.
They will. They'll send you a packing guide.
See?
Yeah. And then, one of my really favorite ones is that you can visit the real life Von Trapp family lodge in New England, which is one of my like bucket list things because I like Sound of Music.
That's the most on theme thing I've ever heard you say. I don't know why.
Just wait till we get to the river cruises.
Is this what I'm like when I talk about Halloween Horror Nights? Brought it up.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. One last thing, because this is one of those things that like this is so cool. If you do one of the land adventures in South Africa, they have a nighttime safari option, which is just like, how cool is that?
That's really cool. You can do it at Animal Kingdom Lodge all you want, but that's not going to be anything close to doing it in South Africa.
Nope.
No way.
And you get to stay in like a lodge that is similar to Animal Kingdom Lodge, but you know,
like when I told you when I saw the picture of it, and I was like, my first thought was that looks like Animal Kingdom Lodge, and then I was like, yeah, because that's like
pretty much what Animal Kingdom Lodge was based on.
But my initial thought was it looks like Animal Kingdom Lodge.
Yeah.
Disney.
Anyway, they also, if we're moving on to the next type, they have expedition cruises. These are small ships, very eco-friendly. You have naturalists that come aboard in addition to your adventure guides. The crew is very well versed in the area that you're going to, but these types of excursions, I would say, are probably more for more seasoned travelers, because it's not as set itinerary or excursions. They're small ships, so they're more focused on the location, and your day by day is going to change.
Mm-hmm.
If you know you're cruising through the Arctic and you happen to, the captain looks over the side and there's a bunch of penguins over there, they're going to go that way. Like they're going to change it up based on what they're seeing. These are mostly ships that are in the Antarctic, the Arctic Circle. So like Oslo, Svalbard. If you watch TikTok, Cecilia.
I love how we didn't even have that conversation. It's anybody, I feel like at this point that hears Svalbard knows Cecilia.
I'm Cecilia. I live in an island in Svalbard.
I live in close to the North Pole. That's what it is.
Yep.
Yeah.
They've also got some that go to the Galapagos Islands, which that's cool. That's very Darwin-y.
That's very cool.
Expedition cruises do have age minimums due to the nature of the trip, but they vary based on each trip. So we can't give you like a set. I think 10 is probably the lowest they go. But again, it depends on the type of trip going on.
Yeah. And your kid too. Like, again, it's like anything else. Like, you know, your kid, you know, if they're going to be okay with that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And this is the one they just released recently, or the new.
They've also got Nat Geo expeditions, which are similar but not the same.
Maybe that's when it was just the one they just released like the other week. They had, or is it this, but it was like updated itineraries or something.
Updated itineraries.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what it was. Yeah.
They did also just release, if you were watching this up to date, they did release some new itineraries available in 2025 for Holland and Belgium for the river cruises.
I did see. I saw pictures.
One segue.
That's really cool. Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome.
Yeah, no, that was perfect. Sorry, I'm getting over a cold, so.
And you're just so excited.
So excited. The river cruises are, they use AMA Waterway ships. We've talked about AMA Waterways before. You can check out one of our other videos on what they are. Essentially,
we'll link it.
Oh,
that episode. See,
I forget that that's a thing. Essentially, what they do is they take the itineraries that AMA already has and they build on them, put that Disney touch on them.
They Disneyfy.
Disneyfy it.
Exactly.
And Disney Adventures by Disney has the entire ship, so it's not like it's a section of ABD over here and then the rest of the ship is regular people. The entire ship is that itinerary. It is ABD. So just like the AMA Waterways regular river cruises, you can. Oh, excuse me, I have hiccups. They're always
excited.
I'm so excited.
No, it's so funny. That's just, no, that's so cute. It's like when a little kid gets so excited about something, they get the hiccups. That's what this is reminding me of.
Oh, okay. Deep breaths, deep breaths. Um, they are all inclusive. They include your food, unless, of course, like you happen to go off on your own. That is something I should say. While these do have itineraries, obviously there is free time built in. They're not going to keep you captive. Like, you can go off as long as you're back by a set time.
I was gonna say, this is like a, I guess, in general question with this then. Like, do you have to stick to their itineraries? Like, what if you want to go do your own thing? Like, or can you kind of like,
I think it depends on,
it depends. Okay.
Yeah. So I think with the land excursions, it's going to be a little bit more succinct, or you're going to have to stick to it a little bit more. Obviously, for the expedition cruises,
you're sectioned it, or not.
The river cruises leave time for people to get off and go and do their own thing.
Yeah. Okay.
You can sign up for the excursions before the trip. You can sign up on the trip as long as there is space available.
Okay. So it's kind of like a cruise. Like, all of them are kind of like a cruise in that sense, where you can sign up. You can do it before, or you can do it when you go on the ship and kind of decide, or ship dash land event, whatever you're doing.
Yeah.
Ship dash land. And you can figure out what you want to do then, which is, I feel like that's good to have that option too, because in that way, like, again, you might be a planner and you want to plan everything ahead of time, or you might just be like, we'll see what we're feeling each day. But like you said, you run the risk of them also filling up. So
yeah. I think for the most part, the river cruises, they kind of assume that you're going to be doing it, but they do have different like activity level excursions. So that's more of what the difference is.
Yeah.
And again, they have things for the kids. They've got things where you can visit, again, Sound of Music filming locations. But you can also, like, I think there's an option for one of the excursions where you can go to the place in Austria that inspired the little puppet scene in Sound of Music, and you can play with the puppet, which, like, okay, cool.
I'm like trying to remember.
Dolls are a little freaky, but still.
I don't even know. Okay. Very quick story about Sound of Music. The one and only time I really watched it, my parents didn't want to go to church anymore on Christmas Eve because we had a Christmas Eve party. So they wanted to, we'd go to mass and then we'd come home. So my mom bribed us. And again, this was, I was like 10 years old. She was like, I love the Sound of Music. I've never heard this woman say this since, ever. She's like, if you guys sit down and watch the Sound of Music, because they knew we would do it to get out of going. She's like, if you sit down and watch the Sound of Music with commercials and all that, so it was like 4 hours, we won't go to church this year. And then we never went afterwards. But that was my mom's ploy because she would get so stressed about the party. So whenever I think of Sound of Music, I always think of that. And I don't think I watched it, honestly, since. Or I've seen like,
oh my God.
I don't like musicals. I don't like dancing stuff. It's not my thing. It's not that it's old. I just don't like that thing. But I love that you love it. What?
How are we friends? I love that stuff.
That's fine. I don't know. We like a lot of other things.
Yes.
But I like chainsaws and blood. I don't know. It just makes sense. And you like singing people. I don't know. It's fine. Anyway, so whenever you keep saying Sound of Music, that story just keeps.
That's the last Sound of Music I have to talk about, though.
Okay. So I won't think about that anymore.
No. Until the next time.
Till the next time.
On a different episode, but not this one.
So anyway, Sound of Music puppet.
Sound of Music puppet. We did a training the other day. They talked about how they can get you backstage access.
That was wild.
To like a private tour to the Sistine Chapel.
That's insane.
Like either before or after everyone else is there. And they said they had them lay down on the floor and just stare up at the Sistine Chapel. Which is just, if you have been there, that place, I mean, it's packed, but not packed. Like, you have timed entries. Normally, you get to stay for X amount of time before they kind of usher you out. It like the idea of being there with just your group and being able to take it in is just, it's that extra Disney touch.
I think they even said in the training, they were like, it's basically like the real life, the real world version of a lightning lane.
Yep.
Essentially, because it's, you get that, or like a VIP tour.
Yep.
It's essentially really what it is.
It really, I mean, it is. I mean, and you're paying for it.
You're paying for it, and that's really cool. So I've never been to the Sistine Chapel. I don't know if I know how to say it. I always stumble on it. But I've been to the Louvre twice.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen the Mona Lisa twice. And I think I've gotten within like 200 feet of it just because it's the same thing. It's like a mob of people. So it'd be so cool to be able to go see that, like, and not have it there. But I feel like I would rather do the Sistine Chapel. I feel like that would be a lot cooler because that's a lot cooler than Mona Lisa.
Like, it's cool, but it's a painting of a woman.
Yeah.
I can get closer to it on my phone.
I can also get close to the Sistine Chapel on Spaceship Earth, but nobody talks about that.
Doesn't count.
And Rome burning.
That's different. That's different. Anyway, you can also go to Chocolate Museum. You can do zip lining in the Black Forest, not the cake.
Wait, what? Wait, whoa. You can go zip lining there?
Yeah. Did you read my outline? I read.
Yes, I did. Excursion options vary from zip lining in the Black Forest. I did. Thank you.
Yeah. First thing. I've also got
whatever. That's really cool. I'm adding that to my list of things I want to do when I go to Germany.
Perfect. And they also have adult exclusive itineraries for the river cruising options, because you're going to places that you might want to do more adulty things. They've got wine cruises. They've got Oktoberfest cruises. You don't necessarily want the little ones around. I'm not saying like go out and get drunk and black out and whatever, but like
people there will
want
doing that. People there will be doing that, even if you're not. It's just go with your kid. Go with caution.
Yep.
So. Or yourself. If you don't like that, then maybe don't do that. Like, I think Oktoberfest would be really cool to do ones, but I don't like being around crowds of drunk people. So then I'm like,
one time's done.
Yeah.
But it would be fun to do it on the cruise because then you get to go to it.
And then you can escape.
Exactly. And these ships are really nice. Like,
so nice. I would want to live on one. Like, I probably could live on one of these.
Yeah.
I feel like I could do the 9-month cruise they're doing right now. I feel like I could do it on one of these ships. Because it's Royal Caribbean.
I could do it on Royal Caribbean.
But the rooms are so small. I feel like these rooms are very nice.
Just depends on what level you get.
I mean that too, but I feel like all of them on Amma are like good size.
Oh yeah, Amma's.
But that's what I'm saying. Like that, like no matter what you're getting with them, I feel like the room size is always like decent and nice and it's well kept up. I mean, you're paying for it, but whereas like Royal, you're getting like the size of my office with like a bed in it, which like my office is like a good size, but like I couldn't live in this.
They're going to be about the same size.
Really? I feel like maybe Amma just looks better. Maybe it just looks more luxurious.
It's just that's what it is. More elite. It's a little
maybe maybe
you got the little rainforest shower head. You got the nice.
Yeah, see just that makes me think I could do it. And this level this is a lot better. So I feel like I just think in my head I could, again, just like the Drake if you put me on an Amma ship through the Drake Passage, I mentally am like, yeah, I could do that.
No,
I know that I couldn't, but I still like to trick myself into thinking I could.
Anyway, I think we have exhausted the river cruises. If you want to learn more about river cruising in general, check out our river cruising episode. It's essentially that, but with a Disney touch. I'm going to quickly talk about private adventures. It's essentially just a group of 12 or fewer. It's special itineraries that you get to choose when, where, and who, up to 12 people.
So essentially VIP tour, like at
Yeah,
Disney.
it's essentially a VIP tour for Adventures by Disney.
Yep.
You'll pay for it.
Yeah. There's a pretty price tag on it.
So it is an option, but you'll pay for it.
Yeah.
The last one is the Escapes Adventures. These are 2 to 5 day trips that are great to tack onto the beginning or the end of either like a Disney Cruise Line trip or one of the river cruise ABDs. They are short land adventures. They go to Paris. You've got some in Wyoming that you get to do like dog sledding or visit Yellowstone. They've got a SoCal, a Southern California option. So for people who, again, really love Disney and want to get a little extra Disney, they will take you on behind the scenes tours of Walt Disney Imagineering, Walt Disney Studios. You get to visit Walt's apartment in the firehouse or above the firehouse in Disneyland Park. And then you can also eat at Tam O'Shanter's, which is like a 1920s restaurant that Walt used to frequent. He's got his name on a table and everything. Like, legitimately, people will wait to get to that table. So, yeah. So
there's a restaurant here in DC that has where JFK proposed to Jackie, and it's the same thing. Like, people like wait to get to that table. Yeah. So that's what that reminds me of. So this is like for Disney people. That's for history. This is for Disney people.
Exactly.
That's really cool. I didn't know about that.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Maybe I did. Maybe I knew about it, but I just didn't commit. But yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah. And that's a good one if you want to like go out to Disneyland. For us East Coasters, it's out. And you want to make the trip and want to make the trip worth it. Do that.
Get the full experience.
Yeah. You get everything.
Because Disneyland really is what, like 3 days max if you've never been, like, to get
yeah,
2 to 3 days. So I feel like that's good to, like, if you want to keep, like, you like kind of just keep the Disney going a little bit. I feel like that's a really good thing to tackle into the trip, because you're already out. Again, for us, we're already out there. As you experienced a 48-hour time to get back home, so you wanted to make it worth it.
Yeah.
We can talk about that in another episode, maybe.
Yeah. So those are all of the different types of Adventures by Disney trips. So the big question, how much do they cost? I wish I could tell you an exact number, but it varies by trip date, trip type. I have seen them as low as like $2,600 per person, and up to $11,000 per person. And again, it depends on where you're going, when you're going, how old you are. Obviously, kids are going to be a little bit less. If you go solo, they are going to ask for a single supplement, because they typically will book the hotels as if there are 2 people staying there. If you really, really want to spend some money, you can do the private jet adventure, which is $115,000. And if you can do that, please take us with you.
You're right. We can be friends. Please. Let us be friends.
And let us book it for you.
Right. Let us book it for you, and then let us come with you, but like, pay for us, because we'll tell you things.
Yeah, because I will never ever be able to afford that.
That would be like I literally don't care about anything anymore. I'm just gonna blow like all the money that I've ever made, like when I'm like older, or like that's like realistically, I would have to win the lottery to be able to do that.
Yeah, that's not even like I'm dying, let me spend all my money, because I don't have that money, and my credit card limit is not that high.
Oh yeah, how would you book it if you're like I don't have like I can
Oh, you have to call them in. You have to call them.
well, you know what I almost wonder if it's like buying a house and you have to get like a certified check or something from the bank.
The deposit is big.
Yeah, I'm sure because if you're paying that much for the trip, the deposit because they're not gonna do like a $200 like
Yeah.
Walt Disney World. You know how many trips they would have booked if it was that case if that was the case. Jeez. Do you know what the deposit is on that? Now I'm curious.
No, I didn't write it down.
That's fine. That's fine. If you're watching this and can afford it, please let us be friends with you. But if you can't, we're gonna go research it. We'll put that in the description, which it is, because now I'm really curious. That's wild.
Woo!
Yeah.
I think we've covered everything. Oh, group sizes. Ideally for the land trips, they're about 30 to 40 guests. That's why you've only got the 2 adventure guides with you, plus the local guides that hop on and off. Mm-hmm. The river and expedition cruises are a little bit bigger, around 180, 190 people, because you've got the entire ship.
Yeah.
But they do have more adventure guides, as I said earlier, to keep up the ratio. Thank you, Keeley, for that word. That way you've got it's still kind of a concierge feeling.
I feel like you're connecting with who you're speaking to, not just to the masses. You're not sitting in a college lecture.
Yeah, exactly. And honestly, like the people that I have talked to who have done these trips say that it's like it's not just a trip, it's not just a vacation. Like you make connections and people will go on a first ABD trip, not know anyone other than whoever they're coming with, come away with tons of friends to the point where like they book other trips
together
with these friends that they met on this trip.
Like
some of our agents met each other for the very first time. I mean, they're agents, so they were able to talk before that, but met each other in person for the very first time on a Costa Rica Adventures by Disney. And then were in each other's, where one was in the other's wedding. I mean, they're best friends now. So you really connect on these trips. And I think that really shows the extra level that Disney goes to make this feel like more than just a vacation, more than just a trip, but a real experience.
Yeah, it's like you're going like on a family vacation. Like you're gonna walk away, and these people are gonna feel like your family because you're doing so many
unique
cool things. Yeah, it really creates like a really good bonding experience.
Yeah, exactly.
We'll just have to go on one because we're not bonded or anything.
No. Who are you? I hate you.
Right? We'll do a river cruise, and then I'll I really want, that's on my list. I want to do a river cruise, but then I'm like, we have a place to stay in Germany. So I'm like,
well, then we'll do one on the Seine over in France.
I've been to France twice. I don't want to do France a third time. The only reason I want to do France is Disneyland Paris, which isn't even in Paris. That's why I'm okay with doing it.
Yeah, that's fair.
We'll figure it out. We'll plan something.
Yeah, of course.
It'll be fine. It'll be
fine. So before we start devolving further off track, that is Adventures by Disney. If you have any questions about anything that we talked about in this episode, drop them in the comments or should message to one of us or both of us. Whatever.
Probably Hayley, because this is Hayley's niche. It's not mine. Like I know it, but Hayley knows it better. Me for Halloween Horror Nights, Hayley for any European stuff or urban stuff.
Yeah. So thank you for tuning in, and we will see you next time. Bye.